And here are bees. Welcome, welcome to the show, everybody. I was gonna do something this weekend, but I was like still getting over the that disease I had, and then I had a slight emergency yesterday, so that ended up canceling that little venture. But here we are. Oh, they actually sent the notification. They did a survey of the providers, the channel. What do they call it? YouTube partners, and I complained about that. So that's something I guess they've been working on because I think a lot of people complained about that. Uh, well, what you want me to do? Put up a cow-looking dude? I mean, really? So everybody gonna say, "Ain't nobody trying to please that." They don't know what. I'm not gonna do that. Well, he might be able to get it, but I still want you to be able to hold your own. But anyway, welcome to the Debsterism channel here on YouTube, simultaneously streaming to Twitch TV for those of you who prefer to watch over there. If you chat, I can still see you here in my software that pulls in chats from all over the world. So I'll be able to see what you have to say even if you're on Twitch. Now, what we want to talk about, the reason this came about is I went to the coffee shop, right? Because I have coffee at my house, but something about, I wanted to get like, the with the whip and all the stuff on it and the foam and all whatnot. And I can't do all that at home. I'm not trying to buy all that. Oh, you got a Twitch notification. And, I was sitting there and I was listening to these, there was three women at the table next to me. And I'm sitting there reading my book, and I can't help but hear. I mean, it's not like I was trying to spy or anything. They were just like, how close those tables are together. And they were talking about their men. And, as I listened to them, it became very obvious that their relationships were out of balance. They were doing so much for these men, so much caretaking, so much like, I don't know, I want to call it mothering, but you know what I mean, like mother henning around these dudes and making sure that they had everything they needed. And it's like the guys didn't have to really do anything. And from the way that the women were talking, they weren't really putting much into the relationship. And the women were just bending over backwards to do for and take care of and make sure they didn't ruffle their feathers and walking on eggshells around them and doing what the men wanted them to do so the guys wouldn't get upset. It was just the most amazing thing. And these were not young women. These were chicks all in, had to be at least in their 40s. And, late 30s to late 40s because, they were different. And I sat there and I was listening to it. I was like, wow, this is really something that we need to talk about because even though I've talked about setting boundaries and I've talked about, the burnt toast syndrome where you just give, but I included kids and communities and everything else. Women they put themselves last and put everybody else first. So this avenue that we're going to talk about tonight is slightly different because it strictly involves your relationship with your boyfriend, husband, your significant other. I'm going to try to stick to that tonight instead of, doing so much, making it so broad in scope. But it reminded me too, not to say that I escaped this because I remember when I was about, I don't know, 21, 22, I was dating this guy. It was right before I met the man I later married. And this guy liked chitlins, right? Now, I used to eat like a bite of chitlin, one, on New Year's Day every year because my aunt was a firm believer you got to have it with black eyed peas and collard greens and stuff for luck and money. So I would choke down one bite, like a square about that big, drowned in hot sauce, and I would eat it. Okay, but I had never cooked them, never saw them raw in there, like live in animal form, nothing, right? So this guy says, oh, I would really like it if you made me some chitlins. So I call up my auntie. I say, how you do this? So she tells me how to do it, right? So I go to the butcher, and they come in this big tub, right? This big plastic thing. It was like a shitload of these things. Why did I Okay, you all that eat them things, more power to you. So I bring these nasty ass things home to my house and open that little plastic tub. The stench of shit and death, just like, and this is way before I became a vegan, was like just wafting through the air. I wanted to barf. It was so nasty. But, I was in that mode, right? I wanted to please my man. So I do what my auntie says. You soak them in the vinegar, water, whatever. I don't remember. It was so long ago. And I remember soaking them in something though to get rid of the stench. I think it was vinegar. And then you have to peel that nasty lining off. So by the time you did all of that, which took like for me hours, then you left with this little pile of the shitlins. That's what I called them. And then, I had to cook them and everything. Oh my God. And I'm sitting there, right, when I was listening to these women in the coffee shop, and I reflected on that moment because that was the last time, it was the first that I can recall, and the last time I ever did anything that was so disgusting and nasty to please a man. Now, occasionally, like my husband, he said, "Oh, honey, what we gonna have for dessert?" Oh, I don't know. I would say, "What would you like?" Okay, now I'm offering. I'm offering to give him some because I'm gonna make some kind of dessert. As long as it's something I like, I'm cool. You know what I mean? You can pick something. I'll pick something next time. That's how we used to do it. So he wanted to try key lime pie, so I ripped up the rest and made this key lime pie. We both decided we hated it. We chucked that thing in the garbage disposal, and that was that. So after that, I always picked the dessert because he always liked everything that I picked. But this chitlin thing is like the landmark in my life of when I was going down a path of this please the man shit when I woke the fuck up, and that smell was a sure enough thing to bring you back to consciousness. Oh my God. I don't know how y'all do it. And I'm telling you, it was so nasty. And just looking at that, it was gross. So that after that, I told him, anytime you want this stuff, because he used to love it. I said, you need to get your mama to cook it. My auntie might even cook it for you. But I am not touching this shit. I don't eat the shit, so I'm not going to cook the shit. I don't even want to look at the shit. Okay, have I made myself clear? And that, to me, I was like, I put up some real parameters around what I would do to please a man. Now, if it's something like I said, I'm going to do anyway, and you like it, and you're pleased by what I do, but for me to sacrifice what something about myself, which was my grossivity, my vomitous factor, in order for you to be happy eating some shit smelling, nasty ass, worm looking food, well, we're not doing that. You just got to get over that. So, anyway, that was something that I thought would be good to talk about. We have to talk about this because so many women do this self-sacrificial thing in order to please a dude. Now we've talked about this in several times when it comes to different kinds of sexual activity, right? Women doing booty stuff or threesomes and letting themselves be filmed and taken pictures of and all this stuff that they're not comfortable with. They don't want to do it. It's grossing them out. It's making them disgusted. But you put aside your needs, your wants, your desires, your boundaries, and you do what he wants because you want to please him. So in that moment, your focus is more on pleasing him than and being nice and being thought of well at what you think than it is in making yourself, honoring yourself and protecting yourself. Okay, so that's the problem. You just looked it up. Honey, I'm telling you, I don't know. I love greens. I'll eat greens. I like beans, all that stuff. But I really am really kind of, as I said, listen to them three sisters, it just hit me how much not only are black women, pushed for marriage and all this kind of stuff, we're also pushed to please men. It's like it starts like you get hit over the head with religion, right? You supposed to submit, and the dudes do it too, because submission means that you give in to him. He becomes more important, more powerful. What he wants, what he likes, what he thinks, what he believes, all become become superior to what you want, think, believe, and desire, and your goals and everything else become second class citizens based upon what he wants. So in comparison, you're making yourself small and insignificant in order to make him look big and powerful. And I'm gonna, I mean, I hate to be in. I don't want to tell people what not to believe about their religion. You know what I mean? That's a fine line to cross. But I do want to say it, to think about how far you go down that path. There has to be a balancing act somewhere. I'm not religious, so I can't say what that line is. I don't study the Bible, except for when I wrote my book. I studied it just enough to write the book, but that's it. It's not a thing that I do. I don't follow religion. I'm not into the Quran I don't do that stuff. So this would be something that you would have to determine for yourself on your own belief systems. But I'm saying there must be a balance. Ladies, you cannot sacrifice your everything for a man. You just can't do that. You end up with nothing, and at the end of it, you overweight. You got diabetes. You got hypertension. You got heart disease, which ultimately ends up in kidney disease. You get one cold or whatever after another. You end up with cancer. All these things that are caused by stress and poor nutrition and lack of self-care because you so busy taking care of this man. You so busy taking care of everybody else and worrying about what they need to be happy that you sacrifice yourself in the process. And I don't want you to do that. I think that's one reason why so many statistics say the happiest people in the world are married men. They live longer, they're happier people, everything. And the people who are the worst off are married women because you so busy sacrificing yourself to take care of that man because you think that's what you have to do to be a quote wife. Oh my God, it's just messed up. He married a young green gal he could train to do things the way he wanted. A lot of guys have that attitude. That's why they be so after all these young girls, because they're malleable. They don't know anything. They don't have the life experience that a more mature woman has. And the knowledge. I mean, even if the girl is highly intelligent as far as her IQ goes, she does not have the life experience to draw on. Unless she comes to this channel and then she could learn from us old heads, so she don't have to do it personally. She could learn from, the stuff that's up here on the channel. But other than that, the young girls are going to bumble and stumble their way through life, getting their heads hit, knocked upside the head and knocked up is a bunch of other stuff because of these older dudes running game on them and they don't know. So book smarts and street smarts is two completely different things. Because somebody had accused one of the girls on there, well, her IQ must be low. No, she just young. This dude was like 15, 16 years older than her and a pimp. He got that pimp mentality and she was very young. Yeah, they don't question things because they don't know that they should be questioning them. How you gonna know that something's not right if this is what you've been taught all your life and this is what the men that you love is telling you? The tendency for young girls is to believe it without questioning it. That's what these men depend on. And sadly, a lot of older women are the same way. So, it's not just the young girls. All right, so let me see. What was I gonna say? Let's talk about some of people trees or traits like in an overall sense. Then I'm going to give you 25 specific behaviors that I came up with and I'm going to give you some examples. Hold on, let me take a swig. I got me some. How do you like this lipstick? I ordered this online. I think it's a good color for me. It's not too red and it's not too pink. All right. Now, these are some people pleaser traits, which I'm transferring to man pleaser. Do you find it very difficult to say no to your man? Do you find it hard? You struggle with that. Most of the time you don't say no. You just be, okay, all right. Older guys hate you. Good. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, look at my little friend from Twitch. He said it's a nice lipstick. Thank you. He's so sweet. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what I'm going to say. If older guys can't stand you, that's a good, and you a young woman, that's a good thing because then they'll leave you alone. Thank you. I thought it was Nintendo because I ordered it online. And it was only $5. I don't like you gotta be buying that Mac. People trying to get me to buy Mac. I walked in there, they was talking about 20 whatever dollars. I turned around and made a big ass UE and walked right the fuck back out. I'm not paying that kind of money. $5. All right, so you find it difficult to say no? Think about these things, ladies. Think about it. When times when you should have told your man no and you didn't. Why didn't you? Now, see, I'm not answering these questions for you. I just want to put this out there for you to think about, okay? Why did you not say no? Most of the time, when women don't say no, you know why they don't say no? Because they scared. They scared if they say no and stand up for themselves that the guy's going to not want them. He's not going to love them no more. He's going to leave. And you know what? Some of these are pick me, but I have more to go on. It's not all pick me. This part might be. But these women have already been picked. It's not that. They've already been picked. So it's not necessarily to pick me. They're in a relationship. And this is what I'm talking about. These are women who are already in relationships, but they're losing themselves somehow. Okay, so this is what I want to talk about. So you find it difficult. Your man wants to do some old freaky shit. You don't want to do that. But why don't you say no? Why are you scared? Because you're scared that he'll leave. You're scared he'll go get it somewhere else. You're scared that he'll say, well, shit, fuck this shit then, and be out. And you just, that terrifies you more than anything else. So you would rather sacrifice your body, your self-esteem, your money, whatever it is, your credit line, whatever it is, because you want to please him so he'll stick around. Because you're so terrified that he's going to go somewhere. I'm like, motherfucker, there at the door. Put yourself on the other side of it. All right. Are you the kind of woman who's constantly concerned about what other people think about you? We have a lot of those around here. They write into the advice column all the time. You so worried about looking good and people perceiving you as being nice. And people perceiving you as being, this nice person, this good person, this contributor. You run around and you do stuff for everybody. You do too much. Somebody might ask you for a little favor and stuff. And, it might be a little thing that you could easily do. But instead of just doing that, you say, well, how about I do this and that too? So you just add shit onto it that the person was perfectly willing to do themselves, like your man. But then you just run in there with your super cape on and you do it all. Why? Why do you do that? So see, this is like I said, this is different than a pick me. These are actions tend to be very much fear based. All right. The idea of somebody not liking you sends you into a tailspin. Now these are women like, they be out somewhere, somebody's looking at them, right? And they get all upset. I've seen this a lot lately. You go to clubs or parties and stuff. What she looking at? She looking at me. She must think, she must think that I'm this and that. And they have to put this negative spin on it. And I'm like, why can't you think that she's looking at you because she likes your hair? She likes your makeup. She likes your outfit. That she just thinks you look pretty, or something positive. Why do you have to put a negative spin on it? And so in order to make themselves feel better, they put all this negative spin on everything, and the idea that somebody doesn't like them just makes them feel crazy. They just don't even know what to do about that. And whereas me, I'm like, who gives a fuck? It's like my thing is, if the bitch ain't paying me, the motherfucker ain't giving me no money, they ain't doing shit for me, you gonna buy me a new car? Because mine is wrecked. I got it in the body shop now, though. But you know what I mean? What you doing? So, it's like, why would I care what this person, this miscellaneous stray stranger on the street, or somebody at some event, or even somebody at my job, or whatever, at church, whatever it is. What are they doing for you that they should matter? Okay, that's the part that really drives me crazy. And even if it's your man, you better make sure that your relationship is on a par. I'm not saying tit for tat, you do something, he does something. I'm saying you doing all this shit that you doing for him, what the fuck is he doing for you? And don't be talking about, well, he goes to work every day and he gives me dick. Okay, he was going to work before he ever met you, and he was fucking somebody. So that ain't really nothing. There's no benefit. That's all about his needs getting met. You know what I mean? I'm like, these chicks, they just be doing the most. Okay. You don't want to speak your mind because you are too worried about hurting somebody's feelings. If with a man is hurting his ego. Okay, so motherfucker got a big old Winnie the Pooh belly. And he didn't have that when you first met him. Motherfucker had a six pack and was at the gym. Now he looking like poo. As I like to say, he's looking pooish. And you don't want to say nothing because you can't stand it when you're all in the bed and that belly is you bouncing off of that belly and you can't find a dick under all that gut. But you don't want to say nothing because you scared you're going to hurt his ego. I'm like, shit, you are fat. You need to do something about that gut you got. That shit is not cute. You look like you're wearing a fucking barrel under your shirt. You need to do something about that. And just for now, your ass is gonna be eating salad for dinner every goddamn day. When you eat here, you getting a salad and some steamed vegetables. Whether you like it or not, that's what you're gonna be eating until that gut goes somewhere. But most women won't say that because they're like, oh my God, his ego will shrink up. Who gives a fuck? He wasn't worried about his ego when he was shuffling down them donuts. That's when he should have been worried about his ego and his health as well. Church's chicken, Popeyes, barbecue ribs, burgers with egg dipped in the grease and bacon on top of it, and cheese and grits drowned in butter and fried everything. No, 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 no. No, you go keel over. I'm gonna get insurance policy on your ass because when you die, I want to get paid. That's what I told my husband. He was like, "Oh my God, she gonna try to kill me." His ass started, and he only gained about 10 to 15 pounds. You know what I mean? But I'm like, you getting a little bit too thick. I don't like that. You need to do something about that. So yeah, he got his ass together. But no, see, I can't do that. You walk into the door. I teased this one dude. His belly was so fat. Girl, he come walking in the door, right? And I'm looking. You know how you guys don't know. I'll say you guys don't know how I do when I get to drinking. I get stupid. And so he come walking in the door. Now his belly came in the room first. And so I'm looking at that. And so he got in there and stuff. I'm just like, motherfucker, what is you doing? And he's like, what you talking about? I said, your belly came in the room 5 minutes before you did. What the fuck is that? And so everybody was laughing at him, but I'm like, psh. I'm just saying, I don't spare men's egos. You want to be walking around looking like fucking Santa. You got to be ready to hear. You got to be ready to hear about it. But don't come around me looking like that, cause I'm gonna roast you. That's just how it's gonna be. And it gives no fucks if it's about your ego. You should have worried about that when you started. Like I said, you saw shit start growing in the wrong direction. The wrong thing is getting big here. All right, another thing you do, you just go along with everything. You go along to get along. You don't never have no opinion about nothing. People ask you what you think. Oh, I don't know. And whatever everybody else says, oh yeah, that sounds good. And you just go along with it because even if it's something you don't like, you don't want to do it, whatever. And it reminds me of that little girl I was telling you about a couple of weeks ago, whose friends was trying to get her to go to this dude's house to smoke, and she was going. Now admittedly the girl was only probably about 14, 15, 16 something. She was young, like a high school student. And the three of them wanted to go off, and she didn't have the courage to say, I don't want to do that, I'm not going to do that. So she went along with them and put herself at extreme risk and danger following behind somebody because she was too scared to, thinking that they was going to laugh at her and talk about her and that she wasn't going to be, quote, liked by these three, her peers. And I'm thinking, shit, don't like me, hate my ass, but I'm gonna be over here somewhere safe, and y'all gonna be over there in some victim shit with you two niggas you don't even know. You don't know where you going or what kind of house you gonna be up in, and who else gonna come busting up in there, or who is already in there hiding, but in the closet. See, I don't do stuff like that, and I just really hated that she, went along with that. But it's the same kind of thing with women. You go along with the dude. That's how your ass get wrapped up in, and you get prosecuted and end up in prison going along with some nigga. Yeah, hold this, it's gonna be me and you, I got to sell this, come on in here, I got a friend, we need some money, just stay here in this hotel room, I send a couple of people in, it'll be all right, we just gonna do it this one time, and we're gonna get some money, then we're gonna be about, okay, so you listening, and you doing what he wants you to do instead of establishing your boundaries and saying no. You just going along with the shit because he said it and he wants it and you want him to like you, and you're afraid to lose the relationship if you don't. All right, so let's talk about what's some examples of pleasing behaviors that women do. Oh yeah. Oh, honey, Black Santa and them Santas is like, is the chat off on YouTube? I don't know, is it? No, I see other people chatting. Honey, y'all good. Because I can't do it. I can't do it. You know, when you do this kind of stuff, you, like I said, you're operating from a place of fear. A lot of you, you know, you have fear of abandonment. You have fear of loss. You have fear of that he's not going to love you. You have fear that he's going to leave you. You fear that he's not going to want you, that he's not going to marry you, that, you know, all the stuff that he's going to cheat on you or, you know, abandon or leave the relationship, whatever. It's all fear based. It's all worrying about what, trying to keep him from doing something so you give in and do all these placating behaviors. Where are you in that? And how do you feel about yourself once you do all those things for some dude? I mean, you know something that you didn't want to do, and yet you did it anyway. You know, my thing is this is the secret to my self-esteem. When I get up in the morning, every morning, and I look myself in the mirror, I want to be able to smile at that bitch that's looking back and say, you done the damn thing. Let's do round 695. Okay. And then, I'm patting myself on the back for what I have done the day before, inroads I've made, plans I've made, goals I've accomplished, whatever it is. And then I go over what I want to do that day, that week. And then I go out and I make that shit happen. Now, if you always sitting up there in the mirror and you look worried about what some nigga want and what some, dude is thinking and what he likes, and you going to do your hair the way he likes it, and you're not going to wear too much makeup because he don't like it and all this kind of stuff. I mean, unless you're looking like a tranny or something, what's the problem? You know what I mean? Because I have seen women doing all that. They be just doing way too much makeup, especially for daytime. I mean, I could see if you was on a stage or something, an entertainer, but you going to work and you're doing too much. Tone ratchet that down a few notches and just look regular. But you got dudes that don't want their woman to wear any makeup. Just have her walk around looking plain because they think that, nobody else is going to want her. Raggedy ass clothes and stuff, looking all plain Jane because nobody, they think that's gonna make her not attracted to other men, and the women go along with it. I'm like shit, fuck that shit. You need some help? Yeah, I do mirror talk every day. It's based, I mean, I got it down to a science now, so it takes about 30 seconds. But check out my video on self-esteem. I have some affirmations in there, some ideas for affirmations for you to say to yourself on a daily basis, and an idea for how to write some so that you can say those to yourself instead of the negative stuff that most women say. Oh, I'm too fat, I need to lose weight. Oh, I'm so ugly, look at my double chin, my hair, you guys just dog yourselves out. And I mean, my thing, like, even though I know I'm not the cutest person in the world, I mean, realistically, I know that. I know I'm short. I know I could probably lose a few pounds because I like to drink wine. That's a lot of calories. I don't eat that much, but I do like my wine. So it's like, I know I'm not like, model quality and all perfect and all that stuff, but you know what? I'm perfect for me. The me that I am is absolutely fucking fantabulous. And can't nobody tell me different. So when you think, I mean, other people, they come, they attack me on the site, to see the stuff that they say. I don't let that bother me. It's like, that's just their opinion. And like I said, everybody's entitled to have theirs. But unless you paying me, unless you bringing some benefit to my life, then whatever the fuck your millions of people say out there, it has no importance to me whatsoever. Sound like mosquitoes buzzing. Okay, I don't listen to that shit. It's not helping me. It's not helping me. So if you ain't helping me, then, I don't hear you. I don't hear you. Wine, honey, especially California wines. Oh my God. And they're not that expensive. And they are so lovely. You missed a lot, Erica, but that's all right. Now let's talk about some pleasing behaviors. Okay. Let me get a swig first. I need to juice up. All right. Now, what's the pleasing behavior that a woman would do? Okay. You gonna have a girls' night with your friends, right? It's Friday night. And you done talk to your man every day. You might even be living with the motherfucker. Well, let's just say you don't. Let's say it's a boyfriend. You done talk to him every day that week, every night, even up to the night before. He knows you have girls' night on Friday night right after work. Suddenly, though, on Friday at lunchtime, he calls talking about, let's go to a movie tonight. What do you do? Now this is where the Jeopardy music would play. Dun 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 dun. Okay, you get the idea. What you're supposed to do is say, "Oh, honey, that sounds really fun, and I would love to do that with you maybe Saturday or Sunday. But tonight is the girls' night, and so I'll see you tomorrow or talk to you in the morning or something like that, right?" That's what you're supposed to do. But that's not what a lot of women do because they're too worried about pleasing that man. So they call their girlfriends and they cancel on them to go to the movies that they could see any day because the shit is going to be out for weeks with that man because that's what he wants. That's a perfect example. That happens a lot. And you know, when women do that kind of shit, I dump them. I'm like, you get one time to fuck over me like that. One. That's it. Don't you ever do that to your friends. Because you know what's going to happen? You going to still have them friends when that nigga done gone up in smoke. So you done put all this energy and time and stuff into some dude that you just met that you dating, and them friends been your friends since college, since high school. Them women have had your back through all kind of stress and strife and drama, and you just dump them to go to movies? See, that's trifling shit right there. That's really trifling. Yeah, I'm like, psh, I would be like, psh, no, but see, this is when it comes time when you have to speak up. And a lot of women are afraid to do that. You know, they're afraid to speak up. Okay, so that's just one example. Here's another one. And I heard this one. Okay, she hated the outdoors. She hated being cold. She hated anything that had to do with dirt and bugs. This was a girly girl to the ninth power. Okay, but she meets this dude and he likes to, hike and stuff on him. He's really an outdoorsman type of dude. Instead of just saying, well, I'll do that with him occasionally, maybe once a month, once a quarter, or whatever. He want to do this shit every weekend. So she's not doing what she likes, which is go to the nail salon, go to the hair salon, hang out with her friends, drinking wine, going to lunch, spa treatments. All this is the stuff that she enjoyed. She's putting all that and her friends aside to go up in the mountains and hike and get bitten by mosquitoes and stuff with this dude. So she's increasingly miserable because this is not what she really wants to do. But she's afraid to tell him that she doesn't want to do it because she's afraid that he's going to leave her. Okay, that's another example. You give up who and what you are to please him. That's severely sad. A lot of women do that. All right, let's talk about another example. Say your birthday's coming up and you tell your man, your husband, your boyfriend, that you really want just a cozy, quiet, romantic, evening, just the two of you, right? You want, you thinking of some nice restaurant where it's like music, afterwards you guys might hit a jazz club or something, but it's a whole nice evening, just the two of you, right? So you tell him this and suddenly he starts pressuring you to do a big party with all these people that you don't even like to celebrate your birthday. Not his birthday, your birthday. When you've already told him what kind of birthday celebration you want. You're horribly disappointed. You're heartbroken because you just wanted it to be just the two of you. You were really looking forward to it. And instead of you saying, I told you I don't want a birthday party like that. That's not what I want. I just want the two of us in a party. Can you do that, what I asked you, or not? If you don't want to do it, that's fine. I'll still go off somewhere and celebrate my birthday with my girlfriends. But I'm not having a big party. I don't want to look at a lot of people on my birthday. And then, put the barriers up and say, he's going to have an attitude. Well, God, I was just trying to have a nice, plan an event for you. You just so ungrateful. But that's not the point. The point is, if you gave up what you wanted for your celebration of your birthday in order to please him, how miserable are you going to be for the next 365 days? Every time you think about the birthday that you want to have just a special, quiet, romantic night with your man and it didn't happen and you're disappointed for the whole year. Why would you do that to yourself? Yo, it's just be, they just think about themselves, but you guys got to stop letting them treat you like that. You have to stand up for yourself. All right, here's another example. I heard this from a woman I used to work with. Her husband used to do this shit all the time. She would be like, okay, they had 3 kids and him and her. And he didn't make all that much money, and neither did she. So their budget wasn't, necessarily the highest budget. And they were trying to cut corners on food and stuff. So she would make, like really just enough for the 5 people. Her husband kept bringing home buddies from work for dinner. And she said, she used to tell him, you got to stop doing it because I don't have enough food for all of these people. And, didn't go, oh, we can just make it stretch, just add some this or that, just. And so not realizing, motherfucker, you ain't balling here. You don't make that kind of money. And so she's trying to, cut corners and not cut everybody's plate servings and stuff to give this stranger, food because her husband on the high side and act like, he's the roof king of his castle and all this kind of stuff. And, she was like, she used to complain about it. I said, but what do you do about it though? Well, I keep telling him. I said, yeah, but he keeps doing it anyway. So what are you going to do about that? And she was like, well, I don't know what to do. I said, this is what you do. You serve your kids their food and you get your plate, however much y'all want. And then whatever's left, you get up, you take the kids in another room and you tell the 2 of them to divide it up because that's all that's left. That's what you do. And his ass will go to bed hungry and he'll stop doing that real quick. And she's like, oh, well, I just, take some from everyone. I said, no, the kids should not suffer and have less food because their daddy is an idiot and their mother's weak. You should not do that. They need their food. They're growing children. They have to have enough food to grow on and to have their stomachs full at night so they don't wake up hungry in the middle of the night. What are you doing? See this like extra dusty. Extra dusty, and be sitting up there the way she used to describe how he would sit there, with his chest all puffed out, all reared back. Yeah, my family, my wife is this great cook and stuff, and she's sitting up there counting pennies, trying to make sure they have enough food. So I told her I would sit there. I'm just a bitch though. I would have told that dude, you can't eat here tonight because I don't have enough food for you. I keep telling my husband not to bring people home suddenly like that unannounced and stuff. I'm really sorry, but my children come first. They need to have enough food. There's not enough to feed 2 adult men and my children and myself. And I was just told, dude, and the normal person would be like, oh, I am so sorry. And they would leave. And the husband would be mad. But you know what? His bitch ass would go and tell everybody at work. And his bitch ass wouldn't do that shit no more because everybody would get the word. And he would say, come and have dinner with me. And they'd be like, nah, man, I'm cool. We're not going to do that. That's what would happen. But she didn't handle it right. Okay, here's another example. Okay, you work all week. Okay, you work too and you got kids. You picking them up from daycare. You doing homework. You doing all the stuff, right? On the weekend, you look forward to, doing your housework and stuff on Saturday, and then on Sunday, just chilling and resting and getting ready for the next week work, right? That's your only real day to work, to rest. Here come your husband. Oh, my mama want to have a dinner party and stuff, and I told her that you would pick her up and take her to the store and help her pick up the stuff and then help her cook. See, so he done volunteered you for some shit that you didn't ask for. Now, most women not trying to be nice and not trying to, create friction and stuff would get up in their already exhausted state and they would go and do it. Instead, what you're supposed to do is say, honey, I told you, Sunday's my only day of rest. I have no intention of going to your mother's house or driving her anywhere or cooking anything. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to cook here and I'm going to feed my kids and that's all that I'm going to do. And so, you got to tell them. But they just are terrified, because the whole family would talk about me and they would all say I was a bitch. And they would all say, I don't care about his mother and I don't care about my marriage and this and that. And the dude would be laying the guilt on thick. Who gives a fuck? You want your mother to be driven around, doing some shopping, motherfucker? You got a car? Make that shit happen. And you want us to be cooking and stuff? You and your sister handle that. I'm not cooking a goddamn thing at your mama's house. And that's just the way it is. But, they don't do that. Okay, so what you have to understand is there's a difference between giving to someone and being a pleaser. Now, a pleaser is something that you do out of fear. You're sacrificing, you're overgiving, right? You're not meeting your own needs. You're taking care of someone else's as a priority over yourself. That's a pleaser. Now, if you give something to people, that comes from a position of power and it comes from a position of fullness. Because like this, okay, I have this knowledge, right, about all this stuff and stuff. So I'm giving it to you, right? I'm giving it to you because it's my choice to do that. it's not depleting me to do that. And when I start getting depleted, then I don't do any shows. I start, just rest. I just, go dark, as they say. Um, but if I felt like I needed to please you guys and I was just like terrified of, losing everybody and all this kind of stuff, I would just do shows like practically every day, all the time, because I know that's what you would like. But I can't do that because then what's about me? I have shit I need to do too and stuff I like to do, which includes watching Netflix and not doing a goddamn thing. You know? That's what I'm saying. So, if you know something, like if I'm going to teach a young kid, some basics of web design, graphic design, something like that, I'm doing that and I'm giving some knowledge. I'm giving some training. I'm doing something. I used to make like tamales and stuff. Me and my daughter make dozens and dozens of tamales. Well, then I would give some to my neighbors. Not because they asked me, not because they said make me some tamales and I felt obligated to do it. I gave them some because I wanted to, and it made them happy. It made me happy to give it to them. They got to taste my cooking, and then of course we started getting orders from them too. So it was a separate little side deal. So I want you guys to kind of understand the difference of giving out of your heart without expectations, without being fearful of loss, without doing it because you think you're going to get something out of it. You're not doing it to deplete yourself. There's breaks, there's parameters around that. But if you just giving, if you just being a pleaser, then you are one of the women that worry about keeping your man happy, keeping your man in the relationship, all that kind of stuff. Okay, well, whatever. I made a bunch of notes. I don't feel like reading all of that. So let me go into my list. I came up with 25 people pleasing behaviors or man pleasing. We're going to limit it to men today. Ooh, excuse me. Whatever Dusty says, you're doing the exact opposite. Sometimes that's good. You don't really have any friends? You have me. Okay, I'm just highly insulted, Christian Michelle. No, we ought to have a way to go through the computer and choke people so I could choke Kristen. Okay, this is about to get good. Now, I made the list, and when I was making it, I had examples in my head. Did I type the examples? No. That would have been like too much like right. But I feel good that I even typed it because, usually I get on the show with my shit on chicken scratch on the back of paper napkins and Post-its and receipts from the grocery store and whatever piece of paper I have handy. So this time I actually typed it. All right, here we go. Let me get ready. You are a man pleaser if you display any of these 25 behaviors most or all of the time. Now keep that in mind. Everybody's going to display these occasionally. Sometimes you have to do it like at work. But see, that's what I'm trying. I'm trying to limit it to our relationships. Because, we have different demands on us at work. And plus, they meet that standard of they paying you to do certain things. Okay? All right, now here we go. Number 1. You go out of your way to avoid disagreements or conflicts. You hold back from saying what you really think and feel. You go along to get along. Now, I kind of touched on that earlier accidentally. I forgot it was on my list. But, you are the people who have no opinion. You don't want to be look like you're, going to start an argument with your dude. You just let him say whatever it is he wants to say, and you just either don't say anything or you just agree with him just to shut up, just to keep the peace. You just be like, okay, whatever. That's the common phrase women say, whatever, or okay. That kind of thing. So he knows you don't really agree, but you don't really say it. You don't express your distaste and your disfavor with what he's talking about. You don't want to cause an argument. And I think a lot of women in this situation, these are the chicks who have a drama with their man and some other chick. And rather than confront him about it, you want to confront her. This is a classic example of that kind of behavior because you're afraid. All right, number 2, You seldom, if ever, express your own opinion. You don't want other people to see you as challenging or disagreeable. So you see that a lot online. Somebody will say some bullshit, right? Here come 900 women co-signing on the bullshit. And then I'm looking at that stuff, and then I come with my controverting opinion, and then they want to jump on me. Oh, well, what's wrong with you? He calls you pepper seed mouth. Good for you. That's good. It's good to have a pepper seed mouth. It'd be popping off and burning up some folks. But yeah, it's like people who, I mean, even as far as like look at religion, okay? How many black women just everybody gonna be a Christian or a Muslim or whatever, right? Everybody believe in the Bible. And hold on, I have to use my communicator and send a net I can't talk now message. Um what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. You don't want people to think that that you're so weirdo or something. So this is the kind of thing like, people say, well, I believe in, you say you don't believe in God and Jesus and all that kind of stuff, or have some other, you Buddhist, whatever. Then, they want to get on your case. Oh, you can't believe you're going to hell, this kind of stuff. And it's like, it's safety for them to say that they're part of this large group rather than think independently, analyze different things that have happened, that things that are said, and come to their own conclusions. There's a very large percentage of black women who are group thinkers. Group thinkers about religion, and group thinkers about relationships, group thinkers about men. And some of us call them pick me's. We do, because they're in that thing. But it's really hard, I think, for women to stand on their own and to speak from a position that is different from other people, because you have to be willing to stand up to the ribbing and the name calling and all the other stuff that you're going to get. In some communities, they even ostracize you. So not everybody can handle that. Like I said at the top of the show, you have to decide what you can handle, where you want to go with this. I'm presenting this though because I think it's dangerous for women to focus so much on men and their relationship that they sacrifice themselves and what they need and want. As a woman, you can't do that. At the end of your life, you're going to be sitting there, laying there, like not knowing who you were, who you are, and not having like manifested any of your dreams. Nothing that you wanted to do for yourself has come true because you spent your whole life pleasing some man instead of yourself. And that's a horrible existence. You get too old and then you can't do it. Then you're old. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You guys, come on now. All right, number 3. You run on the praise and acknowledgement of other people, which makes you really easily manipulated into giving them even more. Now, this comes up when you see these women who are like, here comes some dude right now. These are women low self-esteem. They hungry for some kind of acknowledgement. Here comes some dude. Oh, you so fine. Now, the woman might look like the backside of a cow, but she's just her first time hearing somebody tell her that she's fine. He just wants some ass. And she bites, because it makes her feel good. Make me feel good. Make me feel good. Halle Berry in Monsters Ball. So when guys tell I'll take care of you, I'll love you, I'll this, now the motherfucker ain't done shit, ain't busted a grape. It's all jaw jacking. But you bite because it's what you want to hear. And so you start doing for him the things that he wants, so he will keep filling your head with this nonsense. And he's not really, like I said, doing anything. It's all rid on smoke and mirrors. And you're not paying attention to that though. You just worried about how you feel, how he's making you feel. So everything he asks you for, as long as he fills your head up with smoke and mirrors, you give it to him. See, that's how that works. So you giving, he's talking shit. You giving, he's talking shit. And you got to stop that and look at what is he actually doing. What's he doing? Is he doing anything? Number four, oh, these women are just kill me. You got a dry, flat, boring ass personality. Why? Because you afraid to stand out too much. You afraid to be different. You afraid to let your light shine. You afraid to sparkle. You don't want to stand out and be different or unique or anything. You just want to fit in and be like everybody else because it's safe. It's safe there. You won't be judged if you like everybody else. Remember me telling you how my daddy did that diagram? I have it somewhere. I need to find it. Where he drew a diagram for me like a triangle, pyramid kind of thing. And he put two lines in it. And he said, the crowd is at the bottom. Then the people that's like the crowd, those are the people that wonder what the fuck is happening. And the people in the middle are wondering what's going on. And the people at the top are what's making shit happen. And the top is very small. The people at the bottom who just have no clue what's going on about anything, they just follow in the other two groups. That's you guys. And your group, it happens to be a man. And everything that he says, you do what he says because you think he knows best because he's a man. No kind of qualifications, no special education, no special training, no nothing. All it is he has a dick. And you just go along with what he has to say for simply because of that. And he just leads you like a Pied Piper off a cliff, and you still gonna follow him because that's your man, and that you submit, and he's the leader of the house. Yeah, it's really old. It's my dad drew it for me when I was about, I don't know, maybe 13 years old, and I kept it. I've never gotten rid of it. And that stuck with me, and I vowed for the rest of my life I would never be them people on the bottom two levels. I was gonna always be that motherfucker at the top. Just like I told you about the thing he said about the dogs running with the pack of dogs. If you ain't in the lead, you ain't the lead dog. All you see is ass. That's another one of my father's phrases. And that shit, you kind of start thinking about that dog ass. Ugh. And so, I want to be the front dog. I'm not going to be in the back of the pack. Not going to do it. But you have these women who don't mind being the back because they feel like there's safety there because they're like everybody else. Nobody's going to single them out for criticism. Nobody's going to single them out for anything. They're just going to exist on this plane of sameness, boring sameness, and be like everyone else. And some people, that's okay. Like I said, if this is you, then that's okay with you, then you do that. Just refresh to fix the YouTube chat. Natalie says, refresh to fix your YouTube chat. Number 5. Oh, well, I just talked about that. You're afraid of being wrong and taking a risk. Okay, so number 6. You reduce anxiety about your own life and needs by focusing instead on what he needs. Okay, so you tired. You don't feel like cooking. Instead of telling him just pick up some Chinese or a pizza or something, you going to get in the kitchen and try to cook anyway because he likes a hot plate at 6 o'clock when he gets home. Fuck that motherfucker. He can either bring something, make something himself, or starve. Those are your 3 choices. I said I'm not cooking a goddamn thing. If I'm eating a bowl of cereal, nigga, what I'm going to look like in the kitchen cooking you some 3-course dinner? I don't think so. You just gonna be hungry, or you gonna hit something? You gonna do some kind of takeout? You better call DoorDash or something, Uber Eats, whatever you want to do. Make the magic happen, cause I'm not doing nothing. But so many women are afraid to do it, cause the man gonna be talking so much shit. What kind of woman are you? You supposed to feed your man. I shouldn't have to come home to a house with no food in it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm just telling you, nigga starve work messing around with me. That motherfucker be anorexic. Cause I say I'm not cooking, I'm not gonna cook. Even my daughter knows. She'll get on her bike or go somewhere and go down the street. And we live in a whole bunch of restaurants and take out joints around here. She will come back with a bag of food, and I just look at her. Cause I eat a couple of apples, a piece of fruit or something. I'm good. I'm not really tripping on all that. All right, so let's talk about this one. Number 7, you bend over backwards to make These miserable, self-centered, oh, I went crazy on this one. Controlling men feel better about themselves. Okay, like, okay, this is a good example. Okay, dude is jealous, right? Dude is jealous. Where you going? What you doing? Yeah, you was talking to that man. You just okay. So you start bending over backwards. You want to check in with him. You want to prove that that's not what you was doing, and you try to assure him. You go through all these changes to make sure he understands that he don't have nothing to be jealous of. And once he feels like he got that kind of control, he just gonna be yanking your chain forever. You gonna be like, having to text him every 5 minutes and stuff. You know what I do when they start that shit? Well, where was you? I was where was that? Well, who was you with? Niggas galore. Well, are you cheating on me? Do you think I was cheating on you? Well, I don't know what you was doing. I said, and you never will. So this is where trust comes in. Either you trust me or you don't. If you don't trust me, get out. If you do, then shut the fuck up. Either way, I'm not gonna be like bending over backwards and jumping through hoops to make you feel better about some bullshit. We're not gonna even start down that path. We're not gonna play that game. So you either trust me or you don't, and if you don't, motherfucker, get the fuck out. So, I'm just saying, I've had men like that. This is a dude I told you about. Well, I don't know if you guys heard it, but I remember this dude. Oh my God, it was like our second or third date. And after that, I stopped letting niggas come to my house. He come to my house, pick me up. I'm talking on the phone with a friend of mine whose resume I had done. This nigga sitting on the couch, and then he stand up. I'm in the kitchen now where my knives are, luckily. This nigga stand up talking about, who was that on your phone with this fucked up tone of voice? I'm looking at him. Now, we ain't a couple, nothing. We just like, dating. I barely know this man. I reach in my butcher. I got those knife butcher block things where all the knives are. Something about his tone, I didn't like it. And so I got my knife and I'm holding it down by my side. And I have like a pass through thing, like you could see into the living room. And I had stools up there and stuff. So I'm on the other side in the kitchen. You can't see that I got this knife, and that's the old days. I had a kitchen, a phone in the kitchen on the wall. So I hang the phone up, and he's like, "Well, who was that on your phone with this fucked up tone?" And I looked at him like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, that was one of your niggas." That's what he said to me. I'm like, "Oh my God!" That's when I reached and got the knife. And I said, this is my goddamn phone. This is my goddamn house, and you don't need to know who's on my phone. I paid this fucking bill. Well, I'm just saying, you got other niggas, this and that. I'm like, okay, you know what? We was going to go out and stuff, but I'm not really feeling what you talking about. So I want you to get the fuck out of my house right now. You should have seen his face. His eyes must have got this big. Well, I was just, he started stuttering and staring. I said, no, 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 no. No, first of all, I don't know you like that. Number two, you ain't my man. This somebody I just met. You don't question me about a goddamn thing. I don't give a fuck if I'm fucking 10 niggas. It's not your business. Okay, because I ain't fucking you. So get out. So he had to pass by my kitchen, right, to get to the door. So I'm opening the door, right. I still got the knife. I opened the door and I had it open with my foot. I still got the knife because I'm right-handed. In my hand and stuff, wait for him. So he gets right in front of me. He starts to start talking shit. I said, I suggest you get out or you're going to be bleeding. So then he saw the knife, so then he left. And he called me a whole bunch of times after that. I was like, I just looked, caller ID is a beautiful thing. And I'm like, this nigga, he didn't understand who he's fucking with. I will cut you, I will eviscerate your ass right here on my carpet. So it's like, you're not going to talk shit to me, and you're not going to be acting threatening to me either, because if I perceive that you're trying to threaten me, I'm going to cut you. And so, yeah, he emotional, just tripping. But that told me something about him. See, this is the kind of thing that a lot of women don't catch. When a dude, he's just met you, we ain't even a couple. I ain't kissed this motherfucker. Nothing. We had nothing, no physical contact at all yet. And he's coming off like that, all jealous and possessive and controlling. I knew that was going to go nowhere but downhill. And one thing I value is my freedom. And so when he put off that radar, a lot of women be like, that just means he likes me. He just jealous. And they would have got busy explaining and shit like that, who it was and all this stuff. I don't owe you shit. Get the fuck out. That's what you need to do. Get out. Get out, get out, get out. I would have cut. My uncle, I had some uncles that used to be thugs, and they was in gangs. One was in a Mexican gang. And because he looked Latino, light skinned with the curly hair, he looked like he could be a Latino dude. And then my other uncle was in just he was crazy. And so they taught me how to use a knife. You don't just be like this, like in Psycho movie. You take it, you go this, and then you pull up as you drop to the floor. And it's just going to rip the motherfucker up the middle. All his guts is going to fall out. And that's just going to be that. But no, because I mean, I'm somebody's mama. My husband had died by then. I was responsible for raising this little girl by myself. And I needed to be here and I need to be in one piece. And I needed not to be, I'm trying to like get back out there and date and stuff, but I'm not going to have no drama. We wasn't going to have that. So he had to go. He had to go. And he just kept calling me. I'm like, motherfucker, eat shit and die. All right, so let's move on. Let's move over to number 8. You walk on eggshells, worried about if I say this or do this, he's going to say or do that. And so you don't say things or you don't do things. You don't go places. You don't wear things. You don't change anything about your appearance unless you check with him. He has to okay everything that you do. I mean, women is like, well, I want to cut my hair, but, my man likes my hair long. I'm like, who gives a fuck? Is his hair long? Maybe you like something about him. Does he worried about that? Please, that would be the number one thing I would do is cut my hair. And so he could say something about it so I could say, fuck you. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm telling you, that dude sounded like, I'm telling you, my spidey senses was tingling like a motherfucker. He's like, how you going to come at somebody like that and you just went out with him a couple of times? That's what I'm saying. This dude, something was wrong with him. That's why he had to go. He had to go because I knew I'm not trying to go to prison, and this nigga was about to send me there, and so no, you got to go. We didn't even go out that night. I was dressed cute too, had my makeup on it. This one I still, used to get my hair relaxed. My hair was all long and curled, and I was like, nah, I'm good. Number 9, you're extremely critical of yourself. You often express that you aren't good enough in some way. A lot of women feel like they aren't good enough for their man, that he's better than them in some way, like they have to earn his love. They have to do for him in order to qualify to be enough for him or something. Like they have to, I don't know, you know what I'm talking about. I can't even really think of specific examples. I know there was some that came through in our advice column recently, but it's just, they just be doing too much to try to keep these men. Yeah. All right. So now number 11. You're very insecure about your knowledge, abilities, or anything that you do. You put yourself down in order to make your man shine brighter. I talk about this a lot. You guys, you educated, you accomplished, you this and that, and you downplay your accomplishments, you downplay your knowledge and experience and everything because you want to make him feel like he knows what he's talking about, even when he don't know what the fuck he's talking about, or that his little Mickey Mouse hobbies, Mickey Mouse interests, that one book he read in 1977 is more important than your master's degree. All this kind of stuff. Women do this all the time. All the time. I remember this guy, it was like I taught myself web development, everything I know about internet marketing stuff, I taught myself. And that's one thing I like to do. I like to learn shit. Even if I'm not going to use it, I still like to learn it because I want to know things. It's just this never ending quest for knowledge I have. And so I went out with this dude. It was a blind date, right? And he started trying to tell me about internet marketing. Now, he didn't know my history, right? I used to be the internet marketing director for Net Noir Online, okay? Way back in the 90s. So I know some shit about internet marketing. So he was telling me about, the different kind of ad sizes and stuff. And I don't know, he was just rambling on and on some miscellaneous shit that he could have read in a magazine article. So I said, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And I kind of fleshed out what he said. And then he's like, oh, you know about that? I said, yeah, no, everything that you're talking about. And he's like, oh, well, I didn't know that you knew. I said, yeah, I could tell. Because he was trying to sound all, profound and learned and everything. I shot his shit down in like 5 sentences and then he shut up. Well, it's hard to impress you. I said, what impresses me is when people are real, not pretentious. So, if you wanted to know what I knew and what my background was, all you had to do was ask me. And, it's not too much that I don't know, really. I mean, I'm just saying that to you guys and say it to him. It's not too much I don't know because of the fact that I read a lot. I talk to people a lot. I know a little bit about pretty much everything. And I know a lot of stuff about other things. That's why I can answer these advice questions from a dearth of knowledge because I have all this experience. A man who reads, yeah, girl, them just like you could count. Okay, both of them are really nice dudes to meet. All right, number 12, you always jumping in offering to help or do something for him that he should be doing for himself. Like his motherfucker said he want to got a job, right? Here you go all over online, sending him links to stuff, working on his resume for him and, writing his cover letter and stuff. He's sitting on the couch playing PlayStation and you the one job hop searching for him. Things like that. That's what women do. You go buy his clothes for him. You do all the stuff. You gonna make sure he make his doctor appointments and all this old stuff. And I'm like, shit. You know what? If you sick, you about to die or something, I'm fixing. I think your ass can find your way to the Raiders games, to the A's games, to the bar, to the bowling alley. You can find your way to the doctor too. I do believe. So I'm not your mama. I'm not gonna worry about you like that. Whereas a lot of women, that's how they take, they consider that taking care of their man. I'm not going to do all that. Shit, you a grown ass man. You supposed to be making appointments for me and your kids. Why should you, what I look like? I don't know. It's just, you guys just have a different attitude about it than I do. And I think in a lot of ways, this kind of thing, you're not really considering the fact that when you step in like that and you take care of a man to the point where you start treating him like a child, don't you think that makes him feel like, I don't want to say emasculated because you can't take somebody's masculinity, but don't you think that maybe that makes him feel less than powerful and weak and like, stupid? I mean, let him just do his thing. He's a grown ass man. Step back. Sit your ass down somewhere. Stop trying to take care of everybody. Take care of yourself. You sitting up there 50 pounds overweight and you won't go to the gym because you feel like you have to be there for all your kids and your man might need you and you got to cook all these meals and clean up the house and wear these fancy lingeries and do all this stuff like a porn star and stuff when you need to carve out some time for yourself to relax in the bathtub, read a book, listen to your music and go to the gym to take care of your health. You need to do that for yourself. And you women don't do it. You don't self-care. You do too much worrying about everybody else. And it drives me crazy to see that. You can tell your kids no. You're not going to do everything for them and they're not going to get everything that they want. You can tell them no. It's a good word for them to learn. You can tell them to stop. You can tell them to get out of your face and go do something with themselves. You can do that. It's fine. But a lot of women feel guilty about that. Oh, they might need me. Even go to the bathroom taking a shit with the door open because the kids might need them. Ugh, stupid. Stop doing that. Oh my God. You're going to always need help. Girl, I learned that lesson. I used to work at this gym I worked. This white chick was married to this brother, right? Everything that happened, she called the gym. Oh my God, she was always crying about something. And I'm serious. I don't mean like crying I mean boo-hoo tears crying on the phone. Because, I answer the phone, right? And she's like, ooh, is Daryl there? This is whatever her name was. Just say Sonia. This is Sonia, his wife. Ooh. And so I'm like, okay, why this bitch always crying when she called on the phone? So he rushed to the phone, and you could see his chest swell when she would answer the phone and take charge of the situation and telling her what to do and who to call, and I'm on my way, the kind of thing. And so he felt all needed and like in charge and all that stuff. And I was young, right? I'm used to watching this. I'm like, this is kind of interesting. See, black women don't do that. We flip around and we want to be the one taking charge and taking care of the man. White girls got that shit down. They will play these men and just have them thinking they can't do nothing by themselves. And that shit used to work. That man was so like in love with that woman and just felt so like kingly and like he was taking charge of shit and all this old stuff. And I'm sure, no, let me say that. And I'm not sure because I don't know what the woman's, I never actually met her in person. I only talked to her on the phone. So she might have been that weak and stupid. I don't know. But, most women are more competent than that. But, maybe that's why he married her because she was stupid and weak. I don't know. Maybe he got off on that. I can't tell you. But I'm just saying Black women need to learn to sit down and shut the fuck up sometimes. Stop always trying to step in and take care of everybody else, especially a grown ass man. Let him do some shit by himself. And if he fails, oh fucking well. He'll get up. He'll get up and make the magic happen. And you just sit there and with your legs crossed and watch him. Because there's nothing worse than a man who feels ineffective and weak and like he can't accomplish anything. And if you constantly jumping in there trying to save him and do everything for him, you're going to contribute to that. Okay, you're going to end up with a man who resents you and hates you because he doesn't feel like a man, and you thinking you doing all this stuff to help him and take care of him and all this stuff, and all you doing is putting a diaper on his ass and a pacifier in his mouth. So he's not doing nothing that's manly. He's not doing shit to take care of you. He's not stepping up because you do everything. I see. That's what I say. I don't do shit. I learned my lesson. Like my husband used to put my seatbelt on. My arms are broke. I can't open the car door. I can't do shit. Can't do nothing. And he would do that. But it was, a cute little routine that we had. He liked it. So I'm just saying, you guys think about all of this kind of stuff that I'm saying here. Pick what works for you, leave the rest behind. But I really want you to think about how you have been in your relationships and how it plays out. Because usually when you do all that caretaking of a man, he doesn't appreciate it. He takes you for granted. So you doing it thinking that you're going to get all these kudos and rewards and this emotional, supplementation and caretaking and stuff back and appreciation and validation and all this stuff. He's not going to give you that. He's going to feel like he deserves it without thanks because you do it all the time. It's because it's not special. It's expected now. It's run of the mill. He don't have no special thing. And then they start to cheat on you because they start feeling ineffective as men. He wants to get that ego boost of doing something and being manly. And he's going to get it from somebody else because you take care of him like he's a fucking infant. Y'all really need to stop doing this. You really need to think about your behavior. And I'm telling you, a lot of women say, well, if I don't do it, it won't get done. Then that means you with the wrong motherfucker. That's what that means. Get rid of his ass. He's useless. So, either way, you're doing too much. Either you're doing stuff that he can and is fully capable of doing himself and would do, except for the fact that you do it. And if he doesn't do it, then you need to get rid of him because he's useless as a tick, as what they call my dad used to call him useless as tits on a bull. Just useless. You don't need a man like that. All right, so let me skip some of these because I went crazy here. All right, number 14. You think that you are responsible, you and you alone are responsible for the success of your relationship and your man's happiness. Let me turn this light down. This is kind of blazing. Yeah, this is better. Okay, you think that you're responsible. So these are the women who think like they have to keep the marital beds exciting. They don't ever try to, make him do nothing. They was flipping through Cosmo and reading all these magazines and looking at these videos and doing all this stuff, ordering all these lingeries and dressing up in maid costumes and just going through all these changes to try to keep things spicy. And they've taken on the whole role by themselves. I'm not doing shit. I don't know, maybe I'm lazy. I just don't do all that just sounds exhausting to me. I don't know. Yeah, they're not appreciated because they do too damn much. Stop doing so much. Men appreciate women that they can do for. When they can puff their chest out and take care of you, it gives them ego food and it saves you and you feel better. You get rest. You look better. You look better. You don't look so stressed. You don't have time to take care of your skin and your hair. You get your nails done. You go to the gym. You keep your body tight. Take care of yourself. Let him take care of you. And if you have a man who's not capable or not willing to do it, then you need to get a different man. You don't sit up there taking care of a grown-ass man like a baby. You can't do that, lady. You cannot do that. You'll never get that feeling that you want of being desired and loved and, some passion and all this kind of stuff. When you're treating him like a child, it's like it's this mental thing. He can't feel hot about you when he feels like a baby. Okay, you're fucking up here. You're fucking up. Or you talk, the advice is tomorrow. Today is a topic. Now, I'm going to skip down to number 20. No, number 15. Oh, you terrified of being called selfish or a bad wife or a bad mother or a bad girlfriend or a bad Christian. So you do stuff because you want people to view you as good and nice and perfect. That terrifies you more than anything of people saying that you're bad. And like I said, who gives a fuck? Are they paying you? Are you getting any benefit from it? If the answer is no, then tell them to kiss your ass and you're going to be bad. It's like, you think that's bad? Let me really show you what bad is, because I'm ready to really cut the fuck up now. All right. You rarely, if ever, ask for help. This is number 16. You do it all. Like a mule. You pack all the weight and you do more than your share. Women who go to work all day and do all the homework and cook and clean and everything while that man sits on the couch. You don't never ask him to help you do nothing. You don't never ask him to do his fair share. You do everything. Even call a plumber. You do it all. He does nothing. He's just a passenger sitting there while you take care of everything. I don't know what kind of relationship that is. I couldn't do it. And then now to down to number 20. You have no idea what your dreams and goals are because you're too busy focusing on his life and his desires and his dreams. A lot of women do that. You buy into, like, dude comes along, right? And you put aside what it is you wanted. Maybe you wanted to go to nursing school or whatever, but he wants to get married. He doesn't want you to go to nursing school. So you stop going. You drop that dream, and then you buy. He wants to start some kind of business. So you latch on to his dream, and that becomes your dream too. And your dream of being a nurse, you just let that go. Why did you do that? This is something that you've dreamed of since you were a little girl. This is something that you would have given you a great sense of accomplishment. This is your dream of who you wanted to be as a woman. A nurse that meant a lot to you, but you let it go because you want to please him. A lot of you women live your life what I call shoulding and should notting. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that. Oh, that's gonna make him mad. I should have said such and such a. Oh, I should have went such and such a. Oh, I shouldn't have went there. I should have. What is that? What is that? You never ask for help. Why? I mean, sometimes you have to. I learned a valuable lesson that way because I used to be like that. I want to be just so focused on being independent. And then I realized that there are a lot of people around me that really loved my ass and they wanted to help me. And by me turning them down, I was pushing them away. And that, that really, when I realized that, I just sobbed because these are people that meant a lot to me. And I did not want to do that to them. And it was a real shift for me to learn to ask people for help and to admit that I can't do everything and that together, you form like a team and that you got people that'll ride with you and encourage you when you're feeling down and support you and, just really like pump you up when you feeling kind of confused and stuff. It's like you form these partnerships with people. Yeah. So I understand. I've been there. But like, even like, my moderators here. These are, years ago I wouldn't have been able to ask for that help. Say I can't do this by myself. I would have tried to do it, and then the show would have been all kinds of fucked up and raggedy. But by the fact that I got over that and I was willing to say, is there anyone out there who could help me kind of moderate this chat so I could concentrate on the content and, you guys monitor the chat, I'll concentrate on the content and then it'll be like a teamwork thing and everybody will benefit. The audience will get a better show. The moderators will, contribute and help me. I mean, help the channel be greater. I mean, we all benefit from that. Everybody who comes here benefits from this team that we have formed here. But I'm telling you, it took me years to get to that point. That just was the hardest thing for me. The hardest thing. But now, like Lady Boss and Bedwench and Tisha and what's the name? Oh, I can't remember the names. Okay, we got Lady Boss. Oh, I think. And Vanessa. Everybody comes. Yes, four ladies that help. Keep this shit rolling, and then they got a sister back. So it works out really well. Better than I thought it would, to tell you the truth. So you guys, if you have a partner, I mean, you have a man in your life and he's supposed to be your partner, you need to get him on board like this and just stop doing so much. Leave some shit undone and let him step up, you know? Let him step up. Don't confuse being needed with being loved. That's what a lot of them, you run around trying to ingratiate themselves to these men, doing everything for them because they want the man to feel like he needs them and that he can't do something for himself. And you think that him depending on you like that is love. That's not love. That's just dependency. And he'll meet somebody who he really loves and then he'll drop your ass like a hot rock and go on over there for a woman who don't do shit for him, and he runs around like being, Mr. Mom and shit. And you trying to figure out what happened. It's because with her, he gets to feel like he's a contributor. He gets to feel like a man. He gets to feel like he's taking care of his woman. And you didn't let him do that because you was running around in your fearful state of him abandoning you, doing everything for him. You gotta stop doing that. It's okay, Rukia. Okay, I'm on my last three things here. Number 23. You avoid giving yourself credit for anything. These are the women, y'all play that humble game. I hate that shit. When women work, like one of my things that I hate the most is that term black girl magic. I just want to stab that. Whoever thought of that needs to die. That was some bullshit because it makes it seem like, you just tink a tink a tink. And because you a black girl, that some shit magically happened. There's no accounting and no credit given to you for the hard work, the years, even decades of study and effort and practice and training that you put into something to make this shit happen. Yeah, the magic happened at the end after you did a bunch of work to make it happen. And you don't give credit to God and Jesus and your pastor and your whatever else. You did that. But so many women are just so embarrassed to say that they did something and to give themselves credit for doing something. And they're like, well, that's a sin. You need to be humble. You shouldn't be bragging. The fuck you should. You put in all that work. You need to fucking brag. Well, maybe not brag, but you definitely don't need to sit around, trying to downplay your accomplishments and the work that you put in. Well, it really wasn't that much. I didn't really do anything. It was, I just have to thank everybody who, you did that. Thank your damn self for a change. It really helps build your self-esteem when you do that. It drives me crazy. I hate that shit. Oh my God, I just hate it. I don't even know how much to tell you I hate that. I hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. Every black woman who's gotten anything in this world had to do twice as much work as any white person had to do to get it. Okay, and you think you just gonna attribute that to black girl magic? Fuck black girl magic. That don't have shit to do with nothing. You worked your ass off to get where you are, and you need to give yourself credit for that. Toot your horn for a change. Stop downplaying your accomplishments and with the hard work that you've put in and sacrifices that you made to get what you got. I don't know no sister that just lucked up on some shit and just magically dropped in her lap. We bust our ass for everything that we get. Number 24, you are a magnet. When you one of these people pleaser, these man pleaser types of chicks, you are a magnet for these men who need to be rescued and nurtured and comforted, and these lazy bum ass motherfuckers and these homosexuals. They just be drawn to you like white on rice because they can just sense this is somebody who's going to take the burden off of my shoulders. She going to put it on hers. I'm not going to have to do nothing. She'll let me ride in her car and live rent free and eat without helping contribute any money, all kind of stuff, because they know they can see it. That sense of desperation and anxiety and need for affirmation and validation in your eyes. You just like this hungry look that y'all have. And they see it and they make a beeline to you. You got to stop doing that. And my last one, my 25th one, you try to provide and control everything in the relationship without considering your own needs and your own feelings. You sacrifice what you want. You sacrifice what you think. You sacrifice even like at a restaurant. He wants to go to some restaurant with some kind of food you don't like. Instead of saying, no, I hate that kind of food. I don't want to eat that. You go along with it because that's what he wants. You want to go on a vacation to some warm place, but he wants to go on a cruise to Alaska and freeze half to death. What do you guys do? You go to Alaska and freeze. You want to rent a house for you guys to live in. Well, so you can have a garden in the back and grow roses and stuff, flowers, and have a barbecue pit out there, some grass, and invite your relatives over and have, nice little lawn set and stuff in the backyard. He wants to live in a high-rise apartment. Where do you guys live? In a high-rise apartment, and you're miserable. Those are the kind of things I'm talking about, where you sacrifice what you want and your, things are going to make you happy to please someone else. And you guys got to stop doing that. All right? You got to stop doing that. So that's what I had to say today about these, women, um, you know, doing everything that you could possibly think of to do, taking care of some man. I just don't. Yeah, Kristen is doing good. She's come a long way since last year. I get a lot of letters, and I got one from a young lady the other day, telling me how she started listening to me last year, and she was acknowledging how much her life has changed since she last started listening. She got in school. She got her baby daddy. She separated from him. She got his ass on child support. He has the kids every other weekend now, so she has more free time. Um, she's doing big things, and she's saying how much her life has changed and how less stressful it is. And she took the time out to write me this very nice note and tell me all about it. And I got all choked up because that's why. And she's young; she's not even 30 yet. And that's why I do this. That's why I do what I do. And to get more young women on track about how to handle themselves and tell them stuff that for it just seems like the women in their lives just aren't telling them. And I just don't understand why you want to just turn these girls out in the streets like this and just let them get like lambs led to slaughter by these dudes. You gotta, these women need to step up and do more. But I mean, as long as the girls find their way here, I'll take care of them. But I'm just think of all the millions that don't know about this channel and not getting this information, and they just stumbling and bumbling through their life and relationships and fucking up and having babies by knuckleheads and bums, and getting thrown under the bus, and just their dreams getting dashed and their lives getting all kinds of messed up because nobody's helping them stay on track and redirect them to a life of glory and, like I say, living their best life. That's my goal here. And even if you had a baby before, baby or two or something, you can still make shit happen. There was somebody sent me a link the other day of a woman who has 5 kids. And she's still in her mid-20s, 5 kids. I'm like, oof, you was doing the most. But she just graduated from law school. She just passed the bar. And, she said her 5 kids were her biggest supporters. And in a situation like that, that's great. That's wonderful. I'm glad she was able to persevere. But that's an unusual circumstance. Most women with 5 kids are not going to be able to do that. She's an exception. Thank you, Candace. I'm trying. I'm trying. So, you guys, feel free to ask questions, post your questions about only about this though. Do not ask advice questions in general advice questions under any video. Advice questions need to be submitted through the advice submission process. Those you can find a link to the form in each show description. Also at the top of the YouTube channel, it'll say get advice. Click that. It'll also take you to the advice submission form. If you post an advice question on the wall, it will be deleted. If you send me an email with an advice question and you have not signed that release, it will be deleted. So there's an electronic release in that advice form that you need to check that box, and then that gives me the legal right to put it, on this YouTube channel and or on the blog. Okay, I'm trying to do stuff business, trying to be business like. Oh, that was you, Candace? Oh yes, honey, that was the best letter. Ooh wee, I loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. I was like, yes, this is like my little daughter, my by proxy. So I just I really want you guys to to do well. You're not going to agree with everything I say. I already know that, but I don't care. And the bottom line is, take what you can use from these videos. A lot of times people come back later and they've changed, and then they listen again to something, and then they take something completely different from it and go to the next level. So that happens. I have to meet you where you are. And if you have a question, we got video a day February coming up. If you have an idea that you'd like to be addressed in one or considered for a topic for a video, the videos will be anywhere between 10 and 30 or 40 minutes long, and then the live streams, of course, will be the usual 90 minutes. Um, Submit your ideas only by email to survivingdating@gmail.com. Those are your ideas for video a day February. Try to get those in before the 1st of February if you can, because I'm going to be making my schedule and start cranking them bad boys out. Um, Okay, yeah, the advice to me. What did I leave out? Seems like I left out something. But anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow with the advice questions. What the fuck Tuesday? I hope you can join me. We'll be here at 6 o'clock for What the Fuck Tuesday with some crazy letters as usual, and then I'll be back on Thursday night with Tough Topic Thursday, and then we'll see what else happens on the weekend. All right. Thanks you guys for sitting in. I hope this was valuable information for you. Love you all. I'll see you on tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Bye bye.